we may be on the precipice of something rather momentous for this rookie class during a season where, look, I still think that this rookie class is going to end up being one of the better of the recent era, but we would be sort of lying if we said that the rookie season itself for any of these players has been particularly good. Josh Simmons was performing very well. He is absent now for a number of games. Omar Norman-Lott lost his rookie season to injury already. Ashton Gillotte has been sort of good for a couple plays at a time and then invisible. Noel Williams is pretty good, having a pretty good performance as a rookie, but I don't know that you would say that he's necessarily guaranteed himself a starting role next season or anything like that. Jalen Royals supposedly still exists. Jeffrey Bassa, who looked really good in the preseason, has only played a couple snaps of defense this year. But the one place where the Chiefs' rookie class has been outperforming the draft status to this point has been with 7th-round running back Brashard Smith, who has been maybe not lighting the world on fire, but everyone said, myself included, when he was drafted, hey, this could be a Jerick McKinnon type guy. And he's looked like that in small doses. But he's a rookie in an Andy Reid offense. It's going to be in small doses. And probably not a whole lot until next season. Well, that is until we start to look at the injury report for this upcoming game. Josh Simmons is still out. Then we have Isaiah Pacheco here. Isaiah Pacheco out for this game with a knee injury. We even see Kareem Hunt showing up on this list. Now, he was a full participant all week long, but he is still on the list. He is an older running back. Probably you don't want to try your luck here. Now, the worst news of this, if you are looking forward to a little bit of extended action for your rookie class, is the fact that Brashard Smith as well finds himself on this list. And look, full participant, full participant, full participant. The one thing that is worrying here to me is it is listed as a toe. And I don't know that you often really see anybody say anything about their toe unless it is turf toe. So that is a worrying sign for me that it might be a turf toe situation, which those are sticky, right? It's very difficult to nurse a turf toe back to health because you've got to walk. And it's one of those things where there's just so much stuff going on in your toe joint and you're pushing off of it every time you step that hopefully that's not what is going on here. But I do want to look at what we are talking about with Brashard Smith this season, if I can get my mouse to work correctly. So, to this point this year, Brashard Smith has 25 carries for 75 yards. That's a 3-yard average, nothing to write home about, but he has looked good in spurts, and then there's a couple times where things have gone not quite to Brashard Smith's liking. But he also has 14 receptions for 122 yards around the midseason mark. So, if you put him on, you divide 25 by 8, 75 by 8, 14 by 8, and 122 by 8, because that's the number of games they've played, and then you multiply that by 17, you get his pace for the season, which is 53 carries, 159 yards, 30 receptions, and 259 yards. Not a world beater there, but you're looking at 418 yards of total offense. Not bad for a 7th-round running back, right? Here's the interesting thing. If you prorate, PRRT, that's what I have that right there. If you prorate his last 4 games over the course of a season, that would be 77 carries, for 216 yards. It would also be 47 receptions for 403 yards. Now, 216 rushing yards, 403 receiving yards. These are the big numbers there to concentrate on. 216 rushing yards, 403 receiving yards. If we go down and take a look at Jerick McKinnon's time with the Kansas City Chiefs, here's Jerick McKinnon's entire career. Out of the NFL since 2023, these orange highlighted seasons there, that's his time in Kansas City, and we all remember Jerick McKinnon very fondly. We all love Jerick McKinnon. We can say it. But what we don't really recognize, I think, quite as often, is that when we talk about Jerick McKinnon, we're talking about a single season. We're talking about 2022. In 2022, he had 72 carries for 291 yards and a touchdown. But that's not the part we remember. We remember the fact that he had, as well, 56 receptions, 512 yards, and 9 touchdowns. That's essentially why we remember Jerick McKinnon. 512 yards, 9 touchdowns as a running back, not even a starting running back, in 2022. Let's look a little closer at those numbers. 291 yards, 512 receiving yards. 216 yards, 403 receiving yards. Now, it's not exactly Jerick McKinnon's production, and certainly the touchdown numbers are not there either. Jerick McKinnon with 10 touchdowns in a single season, 9 of them receiving. Not a lot of wide receivers in the NFL ever have a 9-touchdown season. So that was an incredible effort there from Jerick McKinnon. But 216 yards compared to 291, 403 receiving yards compared to 512. The most recent month of the season, Brashard Smith is on pace for a Jerick McKinnon, the good Jerick McKinnon season that we remember. And when we look a little bit closer at Brashard Smith's playing time himself, we see something pretty interesting indeed. 89 offensive snaps so far this year, but he has 39 touches. So he's been on the field for 89 offensive snaps, and he has 39 touches in that time, which means 43.8% of the time that Brashard Smith finds himself on the field, he is carrying the football, whether he is taking it from Patrick Mahomes' hand or catching it. He has, thus far, averaged about 11 snaps per game. Isaiah Pacheco is out. Isaiah Pacheco will not be playing versus the Bills, meaning that Isaiah Pacheco, who has averaged 38 snaps per game, will those snaps have to go to someone. Someone will be taking those snaps. Now, maybe some of that is taken by a 5-receiver set or 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, whatever the combination is. But Andy Reid likes to have the threat of running the football on the field. Some of those snaps, those 38 vacated snaps, 38 snaps vacated by Isaiah Pacheco's absence, some of them will be taken by Kareem Hunt, probably. There is another running back who may dress, I think, for the first time this year. So there might be some of those snaps there as well. But I think it is likely that we will see a great deal of these snaps go to Brashard Smith. And I made a video a couple days ago about how I think Brashard Smith could be primed to pop in this game. The Bills have a very weak run defense. And Brashard Smith doesn't have a very impressive yards per carry average, But what Brashard Smith has proven to be able to do very well thus far in his time running the football for the Kansas City Chiefs is pick the right hole and be able to set up his blocks. He's also been very good at getting to the edge of the defense, and he's actually been very, very good, and I wasn't prepared for this with him coming into the NFL. He's been very, very good at not going down at first contact. He's probably been better at not going down at first contact. I'll see if I can find the numbers. He's probably been better at not going down on first contact than Isaiah Pacheco, the power runner in this Chiefs backfield. So very interesting there for Brashard Smith. But the weakness, it seems to me, for this Bills defense, and I haven't seen every snap, right? But it seems to me that there's almost always an alleyway right off the hip of the tackle and before the cornerback can crash in. That is exactly where Brashard Smith will be making his money in the NFL. It's also not where Kareem Hunt will be making his money for the remainder of his time in the NFL. He's not fast enough to do that on a regular basis. So I think that the matchup for the Chiefs versus the Bills plays into the strengths of what it is that Brashard Smith is very good at doing when carrying the football. But here's the thing. Andy Reid, so I think the first time I ever saw it was last year with the Missouri Tigers, where they will put two wide receivers out wide, and then they'll put a slot, and they run what looks like a wide receiver screen, but instead of the quarterback throwing it all the way to the wide receiver outside the hash marks, he throws it to the slot. And the defense is all running towards the wide receiver screen, so he has a nice alleyway right up field. The Chiefs haven't done that to the best of my recollection, but they've done things similar. They are putting the ball in the air kind of off the tackle. And if you can do that with Brashard Smith in that, what do they call it, around the world motion, right? Where, let me get back to this, I apologize. You have the quarterback here, and then you have someone coming across in front of him and then looping back in that type of motion. I think you could make that work. Let me see here if I can do this. You have, I'm not going to draw all the individual offensive linemen, but there's the offensive line. Here's Creed Humphrey. Here's Patrick Mahomes. Here's Brashard Smith. You send him in motion, loop him back, right off the tackle, you're making that pass. He's already full sprinting. He's top speed, and no one has adjusted out there yet. You've got some poor linebacker standing out here that is going to have to try to make a move upfield towards a guy that runs a 4.39 40. So I think that might be the similar type of thing to that weird, it's like a sawed-off screen, right? Like a sawed-off shotgun. It's like a sawed-off screen that the Missouri Tigers like to run. I'd never seen it anywhere before, so maybe I'm just missing that part of the game, but Drinkwitz's offense is the first time I ever saw that. But this is a similar type of thing that you could do with that, and you have a player already up to full speed. Brashard Smith in this game is going to get his opportunities, at least it seems, before, at this point, leading up to the game. There are very few other options available to the Chiefs. Andy Reid has been reticent, I think, to really put a whole lot on Brashard Smith, and the Bills game is a very big game. But it might be one of these situations where they don't really have an option at the running back position. You've got Kareem Hunt that I don't think you want to give full game type, to whom I don't think you want to give full game type carries, just because you want him to last the rest of the season. Brashard Smith, I think, in this game, maybe especially in this game could absolutely pop off. That is all I have for this video. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.